And welcome fans back to Brooklyn after a very long layoff. We are finally back at the Hill Center for a men's basketball matchup here in the Skyline Conference. You are looking at Frank Carbone Court on the campus of St. Joseph's College in Brooklyn, where the Bears tonight will take on the Skyline rival Dolphins of the College of Mount St. Vincent. Good evening again, once again. I am Michael Kerr, and welcome to 2020. Happy New Year. This is our first broadcast since way back, at least on the men's side. On December 3rd was the last time that I was able to speak to fans of the men's basketball team. 6 straight road games. So the Road Warriors are finally back home in Brooklyn, and over those 6 games, they didn't fare very well as they dropped quite a few of these non-league games, but did come back and win their last contest on Tuesday against their rival, St. Joe's of Long Island. So since we last saw the men's team back on December 3rd, we were here at the Hill Center where they dropped a conference battle to Yeshiva University, 85-51. The following week on December 10th, they traveled upstate to SUNY New Paltz, and they dropped a tough one there, 67-61. And then they took a little road trip down to Atlanta, Georgia, where they played in the Oglethorpe University tournament. They opened up on the 29th of December and lost a tight one to the host Oglethorpe team, and that final score was 68-63. On the following night, on Monday the 30th, they played Berry and lost 84-55. So a tough beginning of this road trip for St. Joseph's. Then they rang in the new year in January 2020 on the 4th. They traveled down to Union, New Jersey to Keene University, and they dropped another tough game there, 75-62. And then they finally came back, not home, but they had back in the Skyline, where they played out in Long Island against Farmingdale State, where they dropped a tough 3-point decision to the Rams by a final score of 65-62. And then finally this week, they had one last road game before they got to put the white shirts back on tonight. They traveled out again to Patchogue to the sibling school, St. Joseph's College of Long Island, and they were able to come away with a hard-fought victory in that one. The final score in that one was 73-68. And in that game, St. Joe's was led by Stefan Ethert's 15 points and 7 rebounds. Stefan Ethert, incidentally, is scratching the surface of his 1,000th career point, which could happen tonight. He has 987 career points heading into tonight's game, so with his 13th point, he will eclipse the elusive 1,000 point mark. So hopefully we'll be able to see that tonight. Against St. Joe's of Long Island, again, they were led by Stefan Ethert's 15 points. Frank Reale kicked in 11 points, and his brother Nick Reale, who's really been contributing in a big way lately, came off the bench to score in double figures with 10. Coven Minor had 10 rebounds in that game to go along with 3 blocks. St. Joe's of Long Island was led by Frank Basile's 22 points and 13 rebounds. The College of Mount St. Vincent's last game was that same last Tuesday night. They played at home against Old Westbury in the Skyline matchup and dropped a 5-point decision, 89-84. And in that game, Old Westbury actually had 5 players in double figures. The College of Mount St. Vincent had 2 players in double figures, but both of them had over 20 points. They were led by Rakees Harris, who we're going to see a lot of tonight, I'm sure. He had 27 points on 10 of 21 shooting, and Kalos Evans had 21 points in that game on 9 of 13 shooting. Mamadou Mariko kicked in 10 rebounds in that game as well, so we will head into tonight's matchup with these two Skyline opponents. Heading into this one, heading into the season, St. Joe's was picked in the preseason coaches poll to finish 4th in the South Division, and Mount St. Vincent was picked 5th, so possibly some evenly matched teams here. Right now, we are going to head over to the PA announcer, and we'll bring you the national anthem and then the starting lineups, and we're right here at the Hill Center with all the action tonight. You are watching St. Joseph's College basketball.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Hill Center. Up next is the Skyline Conference
The College of Mount St. Vincent enters this Skyline matchup with a record of 4-8 overall. They are 1-2 in the Skyline. They're coached by James Mooney, who's in his 3rd season. Entering this year, his record is 23-29. He's assisted by Michael McClendon and Matt Zamak. Starting for Mount St. Vincent will be number 0, Raquise Harris. He's a 6'1" senior guard from Albany, New York, and Catholic Central High School. He's also a transfer from Bloomfield College, Division II school in the CACC Conference. Also in the starting lineup is number 1, Kalos Evans, a 6'1" sophomore guard from Cardinal Spellman in the Bronx, New York. Number 11 is Makai Johnson, a 5'8" junior guard from Mount Vernon, New York, and Archbishop Stepinac High School. Number 20, Mamadou Mariko is a 6'4" graduate student from Harlem, New York, and Cristo Rey High School. And finally, number 3 is Kwame Thompson, rounding out the starting lineup. He's a 5'10" junior guard also from the Bronx, New York, and he is from All Hallows High School. St. Joseph's Bears enter this game with an overall record of 5-7. They are also 1-2 in the conference. They're coached by Joe Cocazello in his 18th season. Entering this year, 237 wins, 238 losses, assisted by Justin Gist and Dr. Lukasz Saigon. They will march out their starting lineup. Number 0, Sebastian Ethert, a 6'5" senior from Hollis Hills, New York, and St. Francis Prep High School. Number 5, Captain Dimitri Sarakis, a 5'9" senior guard from Oakland Gardens, New York, and St. Francis Prep High School. Number 30, Stefan Ethert, 6'5" senior from Hollis Hills and St. Francis Prep High School, obviously twin brother of Sebastian. Excuse me. Also in the starting lineup is number 1, Coven Minor, a 6'6" senior forward from Staten Island, New York, and Susan Wagner High School. And finally, number 25, Frank Reale is a 6'1" junior guard from Staten Island, New York, and Susan Wagner High School also. So plenty of seniors on the Bears roster finally, plenty of Staten Islandites and St. Francis Prep graduates in the starting lineup as usual for St. Joe's. Our officials tonight are Damian Shaw, Craig Sikorsky, and Antonio Brimmer. Looking forward to tonight's matchup. Obviously, Skyline matchups are always big. Both of these teams come in with even records in the league. The opening tip is backtops from Steph to Sebastian Ethert, and Sebastian will walk it up, call out a set against the man-to-man opening defense for Coach Mooney and the Dolphins. Steph Ethert looking to back in with the mismatch. He lifts it up with contact. Shot just goes in and out, looking to take advantage of the mismatch against the smaller Kwame Thompson. Thompson kicks out the long shot outside, but the ball is knocked around. I thought St. Joe's was going to get the turnover. A little sloppy here on offense, but Mount St. Vincent gets a little lefty jump hook from Mariko, no good. Second attempt is off, and ball will actually stay in possession of Mount St. Vincent. Frank Reale sort of let it go out of bounds, thinking it was last touched by a Dolphin player. So it'll stay Mount St. Vincent possession, and they should reset the shot clock to 20, and now they do. So there'll be 20 on the shot clock. So St. Joe's able to turn away Mount St. Vincent in their primary break. Then it got a little sloppy offensively, but Mount St. Vincent will look to settle the possession here as a couple of the officials, Craig Sikorsky and Damian Shaw, are having a little conference here. Coach from Mount St. Vincent, again, is James Mooney. He's a graduate of the school. He's actually their all-time leading scorer. Scored almost 1,800 points in college. Class of 06. So they're hoping that his playing ability will transfer to his coaching ability. He was actually the conference coach of the year in his very first season at Mount St. Vincent, so it might. Pull will stay here as Sebastian Ethert tripped over several lines trying to pick up that loose ball. Finally was drifted out of bounds, and now we'll have a 30-second shot clock for Mount St. Vincent, as there was a change of possession, I think. And now it appears the referees are going to question it. So lots of referee conferences so far in the first 55 seconds, and it appears it will stay at 30 on the shot clock. Now St. Vincent content to throw all their inbound passes deep into the backcourt and walk it up. Run some 5-on-5 offense, a little screen and roll action. Beautiful little dribble from Harris. Long skip pass. Good defense by the Bears, also in man-to-man, like the Dolphins. And that's a nice job by Stefan Ethert on the rotating over to help Coven Minor, as he did a nice job guarding that high ball screen, but Stefan Ethert made a nice rotation to force the traveling violation. And Sebastian Ethert trying to catch the inbound pass as he's tying his shoe. Tough to do two things, though. It's tough to do that kind of multitasking. Short jump shot from Steph is good. So Stefan Ethert is on the board with his first 2 points. 11 more to the elusive 1,000 mark. He's been hitting that jump shot now around the circle area, foul line to three-point line, more so now than earlier in the season. Nice muscled down rebound from Coven Minor off the miss from Mekhi Johnson's jump shot. So a slow offensive start here, only 2-0 on the Stefan Ethert jump shot from the last possession. And now Coven Minor with a nifty little right-handed shot off the assist from Stefan Ethert. So Minor is on the board with his first deuce. Coven Minor coming into the game averaging 8 points and just over 6.5 rebounds a game. Three-pointer is up off the back rim, no good. That was Evans with the miss. Kalos Evans, second leading scorer on the team, averaging 14.1 points a game. Rakese Harris enters the game with 18.3 points a game. It's fourth in the conference. And a nice little right-handed floater from Dimitri Sarakis. We've seen that over and over again here at the Hill Center. He's got a nice little touch with that teardrop. 6-0 Bears. Now St. Vincent having trouble on offense, but now they find a lane to the basket. This is going to be Rakese Harris. Again, their leading scorer at just over 18 points a game. So a real quick little guard at 6'1" is Rakese Harris. And plenty of experience. Another senior out here. Lots of experience on both teams so far. Steph and Coven Minor playing a little two-man game. They don't get anything out of it. Seb has it now, 7 on the shot clock. Got to do something. Here's Sarakis, 4-3. Sarakis trying to find something. Finally a fadeaway, no good. Here come the Dolphins. And the layup is up and good. This one goes for Kwame Thompson. And the long pass, it's going to be an offensive foul going the other way. So we have seen this a lot here at the Hill Center in the first part of the season, where after makes, Sebastian Ethert would get the ball inbounds right away and look for his brother streaking down court. That time, Stefan Ethert, a little offensive pass interference, will send the ball back to Mount St. Vincent. That is Stefan Ethert's first foul, and the first on either team, really, for St. Joseph's or Mount St. Vincent. Now here's Steph guarding the ball up top, handled by Kalos Evans. So it's Harris and Evans really do the bulk of the scoring on this team, number 0 and number 1, so keep that in mind. And here's number 1, Evans. Three-pointer is up, and this time he's off the mark. Still 6-4, so Bears clinging to the 2-point lead after a pretty quick start. 3 different Bears scoring, and here's Sarakis looking for his second bucket. He gets it, and it's a triple. So 5 points now for Sarakis, and a 5-point lead for the Bears. Here's Evans again, defended by Seb. Evans finds himself open. Looks inside, a whistle, and could be a charge, and it is a charge. So a great job by Stefan Ethert doing it on the defensive end of the court now, taking another charge. I have to look up the stats if they have that stat on how many charges he's taken. He's got to lead the team in charges. He is very, very good at getting defensive position and allowing the drivers to sort of run him over. Turnover in the backcourt, and layup is up and good. Steal and layup for Kwame Thompson. So Thompson and Harris able to get to the basket, both in transition and in the half court. Dolphins cut the lead back to 3. Sebastian drives. Reali, 3, in and out. Harris with the rebound. Mount St. Vincent looking to pick up the pace here. They are definitely a guard-laden team. Picked up by Mount St. Vincent. They get a new shot clock. Really, the only true forward on the court right now is Mamadou Mariko. And it's Mariko and really 4 quick guards who can handle and push it and get to the basket so far, as we've seen. So Dimitri Sarakis will pick up his first foul, and a couple of substitutions for Coach Cocazello. Number 21, senior Matt McQuillan is in the game, and number 12, a freshman, Chris Edwards enters the game. Chris Edwards, incidentally, made his first start of the season the other day, or last week, for the injured Sebastian Ethert at the time. Kalos Evans with a nice drive to the basket, and the Bears really not challenging shots at the rim. A couple of layups that the Dolphins have had. There have been defenders there, and some bigger defenders too, and they really haven't put their hands up and challenged these layups once the Dolphins get to the basket. And from what I've seen, that's really the only way they've had any kind of success scoring, is getting these little guards all the way to the rim for layups. So the bigger defenders for St. Joe's are going to need to do a better job challenging shots. Another sub for the Bears on that last possession, who I failed to mention, is number 14. That's Chris Miko. So Bears fans may not recognize him. He is a new addition to the roster. He actually played 2 years ago at Mount St. Mary's College in the Skyline Conference. Sat out last year and came in, and he played his first game against St. Joe's of Long Island on Tuesday. So a big, strong player inside as well. That time he does challenge the shot of Mariko, but Mariko is able to finish it. The problem is, and Coach Cocazello is letting Mikos know, is that he let Mariko catch the ball way too close to the basket, so he was able to finish over the outstretched hand of Mikos. A little confusing, Mikos and Mariko, but I'll try to pronounce those names correctly so that we can differentiate them. Timeout on the floor. It's 10-9 in favor now of the Dolphins after that Mariko layup. So Kwame Thompson has 4 points to lead the Dolphins. And for St. Joe's, Dimitri Sarakis has 5. So it is Sarakis and McQuillan, along with Chris Edwards in the backcourt, and Stefan Ethert and Chris Mikos in the front court for St. Joseph's. After the timeout, we'll see if we see anything different. Expect a little run and jump defense for the Bears. They like to do that after the first timeout in the half court. If not, a full court press if they are able to score on this possession. Nice spin move and floater for Chris Mikos. And they did have a press on. However, weren't able to get anything out of it. And a nice little pass off from Harris to the streaking Mariko for the layup. So Mamadou Mariko with back-to-back baskets puts the Dolphins back in front by a score of 12-11. So after the timeout, Coach Cocazello put the defensive press on. So we'll see if we see that again. Shot from Ethert off glass, good. Bears drop back now into the half court. They're not dropping back fast enough as Mount St. Vincent again pushing the pace. This shot is blocked and blocked again, this time by Edwards. The first shot blocked by Ethert. Second shot by Edwards. Again, names that are similar sounding. Same result on defense, so 2 blocked shots. So Mount St. Vincent is looking to get it out of the net and push it with the dribble. St. Joe's has to be aware of that, and they have to sprint back on defense on makes and misses. Number 35, Vinny Tavella, is in the game, a 6'4" junior forward, another wide body for Mount St. Vincent. So they're looking to upgrade the size here with Mariko and now Tavella in the front court. Coven Minor is back in the game, replacing Stefan Ethert, who now has 4 points. Defensive rebound from Mikos. Matt McQuillan will bring it up, and the Bears not looking to push the pace with the dribble themselves as much. They like that long pass on the makes out of bounds. Typically when the Ethert brothers are in, they kind of like to go Sebastian to Steph on that one. Here's McQuillan off the Mikos screen. Nice little spin dribble in the lane. Kicks it out. Edwards, three-pointer is up. A little bit long, and Vinny Tavella has his first rebound of the night. And almost got a backcourt violation there. It was close. Kick out to Harris. Now it's back to Tavella. Harris had a jump shot. Great ball movement by College of Mount St. Vincent. Now it's kicked out to Mariko. Doesn't have it. Long three from Tavella is no good. So a nice job by Mount St. Vincent in moving the ball quickly around and getting reversal. Not able to get a great look. Got a decent look from Tavella. I don't know if that's the shot they want. Vinny Tavella shooting a three-point shot. Although he's not a bad three-point shooter, 37%. A good three-point shooter for St. Joe's connects on his second of the night. That's Dimitri Sarakis once again. The Bears are now in front 16-12. Good defense in the post by Coven Minor. So he's guarding Mamadou Mariko, the big guy inside. Here's a turnover, go back to St. Joe's. So I was in the middle of saying when Mariko gets the ball in the low post, Coven Minor is really just playing behind him and putting his hands up. And Mariko doesn't really have an answer offensively. He's having trouble getting around or over Minor. He just ends up kicking it back out. So Mariko will have a seat, though, and he'll be replaced by his backup, number 25, David Collins. A little bit bigger, a 6'6" senior from Mount St. Michael's in the Bronx. Deflection by Edwards, stolen by Sarakis. Here's Sarakis, 2-on-1. Another floater is off the back rim, but hustle rebound by Mikos, powers it up, draws the foul. And Chris Mikos, hustling down the court, not giving up on the play, grabs the offensive rebound and will get an opportunity at the free throw line. Mikos, again, only playing his third game. He played 2 games in the very, very beginning of the season, and then he has been out until now. For the season, he's 3 of 7 from the free throw line. Now he's 3 of 8. So Dimitri Sarakis with 2 threes today. Really struggled over the Christmas break, particularly down in Atlanta, as Miko struggles from the free throw line, 0 for 2 on this trip. So Sarakis really had a very, very cold shooting time down in Atlanta. Even though the weather was warm, his shooting was cold, but he is getting back to himself, which is very good news for the Bears, as they really do need him to help with the scoring punch. Nice kick out from Tavella to the wide open Makai Johnson, who buries the 3. Makai Johnson averaging 7.1 points per game. He's actually 3rd in the conference in minutes per game. Averages almost 35 minutes a game. So Coach Mooney needs him on the floor, apparently. Nice move by Mikos, no good. Here come the Dolphins looking to push the pace again. Harris kicks it out to Evans. Evans kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson kicks it out to Tavella. And Tavella buries the 3. Kicks it right into the basket. So some nice drive, draw defense, and kick out to open shooters for the College of Mount St. Vincent. A really nice job, nice clean offensive possession in transition for the Dolphins. And now they enjoy a 2-point lead after that 3-pointer from Tavella. Edwards handling against Harris, can't get by him. Now he hands off to Sarakis. Sarakis will get to the rim. Left hand layup, no good. Rebound Tavella. Nice outlet pass to Evans, and Evans will lift it up over the defending Chris Edwards. And Edwards did enough to make him miss. St. Joe's will take possession again. Some aggressive man-to-man defense from Mount St. Vincent up on the ball handlers, and why not? They have a lot of good quick guards who can really get up and pressure guys. 8 on the shot clock for St. Joe's. Mikos, the 3 is up and off the mark. Rebound by Mount St. Vincent. Here they come again. That was Rakis Harris with the rebound. Jump shot Collins, no good. Falls to the floor, and Edwards with a tough rebound for St. Joe's. He's looking to push it. He's going to get all the way to the rim, and he misses the layup, but Mikos again trying to foul the play. Not able to secure the rebound. Here's Harris again. I'm sorry, that was Kwame Thompson. Sorry, that was not Thompson. I got my numbers mixed up. That was Makai Johnson. Number 11. Nifty dribble move from Edwards. Frees himself at the top of the key. Can't convert on the jump shot, though. Got wholesale substitutions waiting at the scorer's table for St. Joseph's on the next whistle. And I tell you right now, Chris Mikos needs a rest. He is winded. Again, only his second game after a long layoff. Here's Collins, defended by Minor, and Collins able to score over the top of Minor. So where Mamadou Mariko struggled, David Collins is able to connect with a little righty jump hook over the 6'6" defending Coven Minor. 20-16 now, Dolphins with a 2-possession lead. The Bears a little bit stagnant on offense. Even when they try to reverse the ball, they do it very slowly, where it gives the defense an opportunity to recover fairly easily. But this time on the McQuillan drive, he was fouled. He'll end up heading to the free throw line. Unless he called it on the floor. I'm not sure if it's going to be a shooting foul. It is. That foul will be on Ray Keese Harris. That is his second, and the third on Mount St. Vincent. And a timeout will be called as both Ethert brothers, Sebastian and Stefan, will re-enter the game. Chris Mikos is out, and in the game is the two Ethert brothers, the two Reale brothers. So we'll have our first look at Nick Reale, number 4, who, again, I said in the open, is scoring and playing very well lately and earning himself more minutes. So joining the two sets of brothers will be the only child, number 33, Richie Simon. Actually, I don't know if he's an only child, but for our purposes, he doesn't have a sibling on the team, which is rare on this roster. Richie Simon is a 6'3" sophomore from Brooklyn and St. Edmunds Prep High School. (20-16), College of Mount St. Vincent in the lead. They are led right now by the 4 points of Mamadou Mariko and Kwame Thompson together. Almost everyone else who's been in the game has either 2 or 3 points. Dimitri Sarakis leads all scorers for the Bears with 8, and Stefan Ethert has 4. Again, Stefan Ethert with 987 career points entering this game, on his way to 1,000. Hopefully we'll see that soon. He gets the ball in the low post with a mismatch, powers it up, and he'll be called for a traveling violation as he tries to power it up against the much smaller defending Kwame Thompson. Full court press for St. Joe's after the timeout, as we normally do see. Looking for that trap on the first pass, which they have. Mount St. Vincent able to get the ball to the middle of the court to number 4, Dorian Robinson, who just came in the game. And also just in the game is number 13, Kelvin Turner Harris, who just missed that 3-point attempt. And a jump ball will be called, and that will keep possession here on the DeKalb Avenue side of the court. College of Mount St. Vincent will have possession with 20 on the shot clock. Still leading by 4. Little screen-to-screener action on the inbound play. Here's Robinson. Another small, quick guard is Dorian Robinson. And a big layup attempt there, showing some great jumping ability. Kwame Thompson not able to connect. Frank Reale dribbles through 3 defenders and is fouled on the floor. He almost slinked his way through all those defenders in transition and got to the rim. Instead, he was fouled on the way to the basket by number 3, Kwame Thompson. That's his first, and there's 4 on Mount St. Vincent. Sebastian Ethert, he's in the game. He was over talking to Coach Cocazello during that entire exchange. And Sebastian finds his brother Steph on the wing, again guarded by the much smaller Thompson. Looks for the spin move. Ball is knocked away and stolen. Here comes Mount St. Vincent, and again, it's almost like they let him score. Coach Mooney was definitely on the scouting report on that steal, so they see that on the makes. They leak out Steph, and they're looking for that long pass. Easy steal on that one from Thompson. So Sebastian Ethert has to recognize that they're leaking a defender out with his brother Steph. So after makes, he should not be throwing that long pass. The Dolphins are now able to increase their lead to 8. Biggest lead of the game for either team. Here's Simon looking for Steph inside. The offense for St. Joe's has escaped them, as they're not even looking to run any kind of offense. They are very out of sorts on the offensive end right now. And Dimitri Sarakis, the captain, senior captain point guard. Good substitution getting him in. He will replace Sebastian Ethert, who is wearing a shoulder harness on his left shoulder, so he's still nursing that injury that actually kept him out of one game and kept him out of the starting lineup last Tuesday. Struggling a bit today. Long three is in and out. That would have been Kalos Evans. Evans only with 4 points today, again averaging over 14. Long three for Reale is good. Frank Reale, I should say. So Frank Reale is on the board with his first 3-point shot, and his brother Nick, with some good defense, knocks the ball out of bounds. It'll stay Mount St. Vincent possession with 25 on the shot clock. So that 3-pointer brings the Bears to within 5. Evans on the drive, gets all the way to the rim and scores it over the primary and secondary defender. So College of Mount St. Vincent having some great success driving to the rim, and I'm still surprised that the Bears aren't really challenging anything around the rim, and they have the bigger players. Simon, jump shot, short corner, way off, but rebounded and put back up and in by Stefan Ethert. So Stefan brings it back to a 5-point game. This time there was a strong challenge at the rim, but a foul will be called. They're going to charge this foul to Stefan Ethert, who was the help defender trying to block the shot. That will be Steph's second foul and the third on St. Joe's. I'm not sure that foul was really on him. The primary defender really put a lot of body on Mariko on the way up. The help defender Steph really never touched him. So there is no replay here at this level. If there was, I'm sure they would change that foul to a different player. And that's bad news for St. Joe's, as now Steph has got to come out of the game, and he's a little bit hot. I think he's right, because I saw the primary defender, who I think was either Sarakis or Simon, kind of lay the wood to Mariko, and Steph was trying to block the shot from the help side. He never really got there. Mariko misses both free throws anyway, so it doesn't really hurt in that way. However, it does hurt because Steph's got to come out of the game. He is replaced by Mikos, who just had the ball and kicked it out to Nick Reale. Nick is off the mark, but a great offensive rebound and a foul. Shot did not go, but Minor will head to the free throw line after a great offensive rebound. That foul goes against number 4, Dorian Robinson. That's only his first and the 5th on Mount St. Vincent. Minor will head to the free throw line, his first trip today. For the season, he is 64% from the line. First shot is in and out, so both teams struggling from the free throw line. That 0 for 3 now for St. Joe's, and only 1 for 2 for Mount St. Vincent, so we've only seen 1 free throw go in today. But now we see a second one as Minor goes 1 for 2. Bears now are back to trailing by 5. They need to find a way to stop the dribble penetration from Mount St. Vincent. Evans gets away with a hook. Finds Mariko inside, looking to kick it out. He loses the ball, picked up by Mikos. Here's Nick Reale out on the left side, didn't have it. Mikos, again, looking to take advantage of the mismatch. He gets all the way to the rim, and he's definitely fouled on the way up by the help defender. So St. Joseph's with their bigger players of Stefan Ethert, Sebastian Ethert, Coven Minor, Chris Mikos, all 6'4", 6'5", or bigger. Trying to get in that low post against the smaller defenders of Mount St. Vincent and looking to power it up. They're finally earning some trips to the free throw line, although I'm sure they wish they had a little more success offensively with that strategy, particularly when the free throws are not going in. So Mikos now misses again. He's 0 for 3 tonight. And now he makes his first free throw. Now it's a 4-point game, so inching ever closer, slowly but surely, is St. Joseph's as Vinny Tavella gets back in the game for Mount St. Vincent. Evans is off the mark. Great save by Tavella to keep possession for the Dolphins. And now Tavella, jump shot, long 2, short, rebound, Nick Reale. Reale bringing it up with his eyes scanning the defense. Shovels it over to Dimitri Sarakis. Sarakis, nice drive, looking for an outlet. Finds Mikos after the pass hit the net to slow it down. Spin move, left hand, Minor, good. Nice move by Coven Minor, another senior. I haven't mentioned much in the games, probably because it was earlier in the season, but as we get around the midway point of the season, we should start mentioning that these seniors, a lot of seniors on St. Joseph will be sorely missed after they are gone after this year, but let's not think about that just yet. Still a lot of basketball to play. And rebound is pulled down by Nick Reale. He'll get credit for it, but Chris Mikos was in there assisting on the rebound. 2-point game now. Dolphins still in front, but the Bears with the ball looking to tie or possibly go ahead. Frank Reale will try to put them ahead, but he will not be successful as that ball came off his hand wrong or something. He certainly looked off balance when he shot that, and he missed everything. So another defensive opportunity for the Bears in their man-to-man. They seem to have found a five that are clicking pretty well right now with the group on the floor. Nice rebound by Mikos. Minor got a little out of position on defense, but Mikos was there to contest the shot. 27-25, just over 2 minutes to go. The three from Sarakis, in and out. That would have been nice to give the Bears the lead. Nobody in double figures tonight, but Sarakis leads all scorers with 8. And that's a travel. We'll go the other way. So St. Joe's will get another chance to tie or possibly go ahead. Sebastian Ethert is back in the game, replacing Nick Reale. So Nick Reale, after playing very sparingly early in the season, is starting to get a lot more opportunities. He's averaging 2.4 points a game. He'll be on the bench now for a little while. And Sebastian Ethert will get another opportunity. Long two for Seb is short. Rebound by Kalos Evans. Evans leading the team with 6.2 rebounds a game from the guard position. So I was about to say, Evans is rebounding the ball well today. That was actually his third rebound today. And as I was about to say it, I noticed that he is this team's leading rebounder. That foul will go against Frank Reale, only his first, and the fourth on St. Joe's. Now St. Vincent will inbound it with 23 on the shot clock. Tavella, the three, is just short. So Tavella shoots it nicely. Again, he's 37.5% from three entering the game. He's made one today. And he looks good getting rid of it. And Minor looks good getting rid of this long two-point shot from the left corner. And we know Coven Minor loves that short corner area. So Minor getting hot for the Bears on offense. Here's Tavella, spin, good help by Minor. Jump shot is way off from Mariko, and a foul is going to be called. I think we're going to stay, no, we are going to go the other way as the official initially pointed in the wrong direction. The foul is going to be on the rebound against Mount St. Vincent. And the Bears will take over in now a tie game. So after that last basket, St. Joe's had tied the game. This foul is going to go against Kalos Evans. That is his second and the seventh on Mount St. Vincent. And that will be a shooting foul. So Richie Simon, who entered the game on that last whistle, who was fouled on that play, will head to the free throw line. It was on the other end of the court, but it was not a player control foul. So because St. Joe's is in the bonus, Simon will get to shoot free throws. 3 of 8 on the season so far for Richie Simon. And he banks that one home. So the bank is open late night on a Thursday here in Brooklyn. Simon is on the board. Second free throw is in and out, rebounded by Makai Johnson. Just under a minute to go now. 1 point lead for the Bears after that bank shot free throw from Richie Simon to give the Bears a short lead. Here's that run and jump over half court on the first pass. But unfortunately, it leaves Vinny Tavella wide open at the top of the key. Not able to hit the three, though. Here comes Seb. Splits defender to the half court line. He's got his head up, and he throws it through the hands of Dimitri Sarakis, who is waiting at the three-point line. I think Seb should have given it up a little bit earlier as Sarakas was kind of trying to rush into that three-point shot as the defenders were starting to recover in transition. Now St. Vincent will bring it over half court and use a timeout. With 34.4 seconds remaining in the first half, it's 28-27, Bears in the lead. They are led right now by Dimitri Sarakas' 8 points. Stefan Ethert has 6. Coven Minor has 7 points. And for Mount St. Vincent, they are led by the 7 points of Mamadou Mariko. Kalos Evans has 6 points to go along with 3 rebounds. And the leading scorer, Rakees Harris, has only 2 points on 1 of 4 shooting, but he does have 3 assists and 5 rebounds to go with it. So, and clearly their sort of leader on the court is Rakees Harris. When he's in the game, you can see he's clapping his hands and kind of motivating his guys to stay with it and do the right thing. So you can see he is definitely a leader on this court. Again, a senior from Albany coming all the way down to Mount St. Vincent, to Riverdale, by way of Bloomfield College, incidentally. So a former Division II player finding a more comfortable situation possibly here at Mount St. Vincent in the Skyline Conference. Good defense by St. Joe's. Oh, it's going to be a foul. A little bit of a tough call, but a good call as Sebastian Ethert rotated over to help, and Mekhi Johnson sort of collided with him. Not sure the offensive player didn't create the contact. But Mount St. Vincent's will inbound it. Only the first foul on Sebastian. 5th on the team, so it is not a shooting foul yet. 12 seconds on the game clock. Shot clock is turned off. Robinson. Ball is tipped away by Sebastian Ethert. Strom on the floor. Ethert has it. 4 seconds. 3. It's loose. 1 second, and a long desperation heave from Mekhi Johnson is no good. So that last possession, the ball got loose. A near steal for Sebastian Ethert. In any case, the buzzer sounds for halftime with the Bears clinging to a 1-point lead after trailing much of the first half. It's 28-27 heading into the 15-minute break. And I will step away for just a moment to gather some halftime stats, which I will bring to you in just a few. And in the meantime, you can enjoy the Secret Steppers. The secret is out as the step team is coming out to the Hill Center in just a few. So sit back and enjoy the halftime entertainment, and I'll be right back with the halftime stats and to bring you the second half action. You are watching St. Joseph's College basketball.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, don't tell anyone, but please welcome to the floor the SJC Secret Steppers.
And we are back at halftime here at the Hill Center. So some quality halftime entertainment. The 4th grade girls team, and we had our secret steppers earlier. Okay, so at halftime, the Bears with a 1-point lead, 28-27. Leading scorers for the visiting Dolphins of College of Mount St. Vincent. Mamadou Mariko has 7 points on 3 of 6 shooting. Kalos Evans has 6 points, taken 11 shots though. Kwame Thompson has 4 points and 4 rebounds. Makai Johnson has 3 points. Vinny Tavella has 3 points. He made a 3-point shot early, and he also has 6 rebounds, does Vinny. 2 points for David Collins and Raquise Harris, which is surprising, as Raquise Harris entering this game 4th in the conference in scoring at 18.3 points per game. Only has 2 points, but to go along with 5 rebounds and 3 assists, though. So St. Joe's done a good job on Mr. Harris so far. Overall, 12 of 36 for 33.3%. From 3-point range, struggling at only 2 of 12, just under 17%, and an even 50%, just 1 of 2 from the free throw line. That was Mamadou Mariko, who was 1 for 2. For St. Joe's of Brooklyn, they are led by the 8 points from Dimitri Sarakis. He is 3 of 8 and 2 of 4 from downtown. Coven Minor has 7 points and 3 rebounds. Stefan Ethert has 6 points on 3 of 6 shooting. Frank Reale has 3 points. He's 1 of 3, and his make was a 3-pointer, so he's been a little bit quiet in the first half. Chris Mikos has 3 points and 5 rebounds in just over 10 minutes of play. And finally, Richie Simon has 1 point, and his 1 free throw make is what gave the Bears the 1-point advantage at the end of the half. St. Joseph's is 11 of 29 from the floor, just under 38%. They're 3 of 11 from 3-point range. Reale has 1 and Dimitri Sarakis has 2. And from the free throw line, they are 3 of 8. So both teams really struggling, particularly St. Joe's, from the free throw line in the first half so far. Mentioned that Raquise Harris is 4th in the league in scoring. He's also tied for 2nd with Stefan Ethert in steals per game at 2.8. And speaking of Stefan Ethert, I'll mention once again that he entered this game with 987 career points. So he entered the game needing only 13 to reach the prestigious 1,000-point mark. And he had 6 in the first half, so he's just 7 points away from that. Hopefully he'll get it today so we can do it on the broadcast here at home. We'd rather him do those things at home than on the road. Stefan is also 7th in the conference in scoring at 17.5, and he's 3rd in rebounding at 10.4, so averaging a double-double heading in. And speaking of the Skyline Conference, there are some other Skyline games tonight, and I'll bring you around the league right now. I only have 1 score to report. That is, I believe, a final. Purchase has, I believe that's their first win of the year. They defeated the Merchant Marine Academy 87-69. I'm sorry, that's not their first win, as they won on Tuesday as well. Let me make sure of that before I start talking too much. I am completely wrong, as usual. Purchase has 2 wins heading into today, so this would be their 3rd as they defeat Merchant Marine Academy 87-69. Sarah Lawrence hosts Mount St. Mary tonight, and I don't have a score right now. Also tonight, Farmingdale State will host St. Joe's of Long Island, so a all Long Island matchup there out in Farmingdale. Manhattanville travels to Maritime, and the final game in the Skyline is tonight's game here at the Hill Center. 28-27, the Bears with a 1-point lead right now here against Mount St. Vincent. The Skyline Conference Weekly Report came out January 14th on Monday, and this week's Player of the Week is Charles Wingate from Old Westbury, a junior guard. Old Westbury won 3 conference games last week, and Charles averaged 23.7 points per game in those wins. Also 4 steals and 3.7 assists in those 3 games. The Rookie of the Week was Tommy Latito from Manhattanville College. He's a guard from St. Peter's High School in Staten Island, a couple of St. Peter's kids here on the St. Joe's roster. Last week, Tommy, in 2 Skyline victories, averaged 9.5 points and 4.5 rebounds. And I did a little digging, a little research, the stat crew, and so far, no one from St. Joe's of Brooklyn or the College of Mount St. Vincent's have won a Player of the Week or Rookie of the Week award so far this season. But again, there's many weeks left, and those awards are nice and all, but certainly wins are more valuable. And the standings right now in the South Division, which both of these teams are a part of, Yeshiva leads everyone at 5-0. Old Westbury is 4-1. Then Farmingdale comes in third in the South at 2-2. Both of these teams are 1-2, and St. Joe's of Long Island can see them all at 0-4. In the North Division, Manhattanville enters at 2-1. Purchase entered at 2-1, although they won tonight, so technically they're a half game ahead now. Mount St. Mary also 2-1. Sarah Lawrence College is 2-2. Merchant Marine 1-3, and Maritime is 0-3 in the North Division. So we're back to the action here as St. Joe's will have the first possession in the second half. Same starting 5 for St. Joe's. Same starting 5 for Mount St. Vincent, as no one is really in any kind of serious foul trouble. No one has more than 2 fouls in the building. And man-to-man defense again from Mount St. Vincent as they played the entire first half in man-to-man. Minor missed Steph on the high-low look. Now he gets it back, drives himself to the rim. Ball gets knocked away and will stay St. Joseph's possession here at the DeKalb Avenue basket after the teams had switched sides at the break. 15 on the shot clock as Dimitri Sarakis will inbound it for the Bears. Finds Reale. Now the Bears looking to reverse it. They're looking for Sarakis on the weak side screen. He's wide open. They don't give it to him. But a nice little slip on the screen from Minor got him the ball inside. Forced the defense to collapse, but a great recovery from Mount St. Vincent on defense. So nice job defensively from the Mount on that defensive recovery. And a layup is put up and in to give Mount St. Vincent the lead by number 3, Kwame Thompson. So aggressively getting to the basket. Still these quick guards for the Dolphins. Sebastian using the Minor screen. Throw back to Minor. Puts it up with the left hand off glass. No good. Rebound and pushing it up ahead is Kalos Evans will score and earn a trip to the free throw line off the long pass, or the long outlet pass on the defensive rebound. So Mount St. Vincent, as usual, pushing the pace. This time, instead of just pushing with the dribble, they are leaking someone out and getting it up ahead with the kick ahead. Kalos Evans with his 6th points of the day. Sorry, that was his 8th points of the day, and now 9 after completing the 3-point play. And the Dolphins now extend their once 1-point deficit at halftime to a 4-point lead here early on in the second stanza. Minor, shot is blocked and rebounded by Mamadou Mariko. Floater, no good. And a whistle. We're going with an offensive foul and a little bit of a late contact, but a great job by Steph Ethard again, taking his 2nd charge of the game. This foul's going to go against number 11, Makai Johnson, who tried to make a floater and ended up, once he left the floor, he couldn't stop. He ended up landing right into the body of the waiting Stephon Ethard, who had great defensive position once again. First foul on Makai Johnson for Mount St. Vincent, and their first this half. Jump shot, Steph in the lane. Back rim, good. So it bounced high up off the back rim and found its way through. Stephon Ethard now has 8 points tonight and only 5 away from 1,000 for his career. Nice pass, and layup is good for Thompson. So a beautiful pass from Mariko. So when we see Mariko get the ball inside, he often looks to pass out of the low post, and that time he found a cutting Kwame Thompson for the layup. Sebastian has it, looks inside, one-on-one Minor, kicks it out to Reale. Minor didn't like the look with Mariko on his back. Now Reale, little long on the jump shot. Rebound for Mount St. Vincent. Harris kicks it ahead to Evans. Evans powers it up in the left hand, just off the mark, but the follow is no good. Knocked away. Here come the Bears. Steph has it. And 3 Dolphin defenders are back, so Steph is going to look to pull it out and slow it down and look for a better shot as the Bears do trail by 4. Long 3 from Seb is good. So Sebastian Etheridge buries the 3, and Sebastian, who has been mostly cold all year, although has been playing a lot better the last handful of games before his injury, buries this 3, his first 3-pointer of the night. Chris Mikos will enter the game replacing Coven Minor, who's given St. Joe's his usual strong minutes. And on that turnover, the Bears will get the ball with a chance to take the lead here. It's 34-33, still in favor of the Dolphins, but again, the Bears with the leather will try to get back in this. Here's Reale, top of the key, good stop and go. Beautiful little dump off pass to Mikos, can't handle it though. Long pass ahead to Evans. Here he goes again in transition. Ball is thrown off the leg of Sebastian Etheridge, so a heads-up play by Kalos Evans, who saw he was going to fall out of bounds with the ball off the long pass that got a little bit past him. Threw it off the foot of Sebastian Etheridge, who was chasing him down on defense. So with 26 on the shot clock, the Dolphins will take possession under the Willoughby Avenue basket. Drive by. And a left-handed shot by Mariko. So we finally see Mariko with a nice little offensive move inside over the defending Chris Mikos. So again, I'm going to be confusing their names back and forth as they are guarding each other. Nice shot by Dimitri Sarakis. Might have got fouled as well, but a nice little right-handed floater from Sarakis brings the Bears back to within 1, and they need to stop here to give themselves another chance at a lead. Johnson has it now, brings it back out from the corner, looking for Mariko inside. Mariko powering it up on Mikos, no good, rebound Sebastian Etheridge. And he's looking to push it with the dribble. Plenty of defenders back, here comes Seb. Quick pass to Mikos in the middle. Mikos drives it down, lifts it up, and lays it in. So Chris Mikos off the assist from Sebastian Etheridge. Sebastian leading his team with 4 assists a game. Nice make by Mikos. And that gives the Bears a 1-point lead. And the offensive foul is going to get the Bears the ball back. This time it's Chris Mikos laying his body on the line for the offensive charging foul. That foul will go against Mamadou Mariko, only his first, and now the second on Mount St. Vincent. So great job by Chris Mikos, giving the Bears some much needed help on offense and defense. A nice addition to the roster here in the still early part of the conference season. Turnover from Sarakis. Here comes Rakis Harris, still looking to get on the scoring board. That time he's not able to, but he gets his own rebound. He's looking to get rid of it now. Great defense by St. Joe's, and it's ripped away by Frank Reale, and he's pushing it. Finally turned away by Johnson at half court. Now he's double teamed, he's in trouble. Gets it to Steph, back to Reale, nice give and go. Reale forces up an impossible shot, wanted the foul, didn't get it, and Kalos Evans will bring it back up for Mount St. Vincent. The 3-point attempt from Harris is an air ball, and Sarakis will slow it down and hand it off to Sebastian Etheridge, who will equally slow it down. Bears leading by 1, just over 5 minutes into this second half. Pretty sloppy second half so far, I have to say. Mikos, high-low pass to Steph. Steph, double teamed, powers it up, hook shot, in and out. Fighting for his own rebound, doesn't get it. Rakis Harris with a obvious flop looking for a foul, doesn't get it. But he does find his teammate who powers it up and scores. And it looks like an offensive foul. It wasn't on the dribbler for sure. It's going to be off the ball, and that is a good call. So number 25, David Collins, who had recently entered the game, was sealing off the defender who was trying to get to the streaking Kwame Thompson. Thompson wasn't able to make the layup in any case, but a strong drive to the basket, and the defender not allowed to slide over to help. So St. Joe's will take over again, still leading by 1. Steph, jump shot, top of the key, good. So Stefan Etheridge makes another jump shot, saying he made that shot early in the game. That's a violation. It's going to be a traveling violation, so another turnover for Mount St. Vincent will get the ball back to the Bears, as the Bears now lead by 3. And that was Stefan Etheridge's 10th points of the evening. He is only 3 points away now from the prestigious 1,000-point club as Chris Edwards enters the game, replacing Dimitri Sarakis. Seb finds his brother Steph, and he's going to be whistled for a traveling violation. So a nice idea from Steph Ethard, who caught the ball sort of in motion and gave a little bit of a pump fake instead of just going around the defender. And that was just enough to get his feet moving before he was able to get that dribble down for the traveling violation. So Mount St. Vincent will take over, trailing again by 3, 39-36. And a steal here. But before the steal, there's going to be a foul off the ball as Chris Mikos was holding Collins, not able to catch that pass. And really kind of a wasted foul because Edwards stole the pass anyway. That is the first foul on Mikos and only the second now on the Bears this half. Stefan Ethert will take a break, and he is replaced by Coven Minor. Evans coming off the ball screen. Collins had a nice roll, had the defender on his back. They missed him. 6 on the shot clock. It's Evans driving on Minor. Jump shot. Great defense by Mikos. Minor got a piece of it. Now he's looking for the long pass. He catches it, powers it up, and dunks it with 2 hands in transition off the beautiful long pass from Frank Reale. So Chris Mikos with a good play on both ends of the floor. I think he got a block shot to start that fast break and certainly finished it with a 2-handed slam. Long 3 is off the back rim, no good. Rebounded by Chris Edwards. St. Joe's will try to slow it down, now leading by 5. Long pass to Reale is off the mark, and that could be goaltending, no call, as the defender slapped the backboard and clearly moved the basket as the ball went off the rim. It may not have gone in anyway, but that's a call that could be made. Goaltending, you're not allowed to interfere with the basket as the ball is attempting to go in. So a nice look to Reale. Now another steal. Sebastian plows his way through a defender. It's going to be a blocking foul as everybody was in motion, especially Sebastian Ethard, who kind of railroaded the defender. It was Makai Johnson. He'll pick up his second foul, and the 4th now on Mount St. Vincent. So Vinny Tavella is back in the game replacing Collins. St. Joe's will take it out. 12-12 to go. Leading by 5 now. So St. Joe's, after struggling in the beginning of the second half, they went down as much as 4 points. Leading by 1 at halftime. Went down about 4. Sebastian kicks it to Minor. Left-handed hook shot is good. So good job by Minor protecting the ball. Evans tries to answer right back. Not able to, though, on the layup. St. Joe's will take over again after having increased their lead by 2 more points. It's now 43-36. 7-point lead. Sebastian kicks it over to Edwards, who can't handle it. It'll go out of bounds, and the Dolphins will take over with 11:37 to go. And a timeout's going to be called as Makai Johnson carries the ball over half court, so they'll inbound it on the sideline right in front of their own bench after this little timeout. 43-36. Bears leading by 7. We'll be back in just a moment. You are watching St. Joseph's College basketball.
Seconds left.
11:32 to go in the second half. 7-point lead for the Bears. I have one more score to report in the Skyline Conference. Sarah Lawrence has defeated Mount St. Mary 63-61. So a great matchup in the Skyline there up in Brookville, as Sarah Lawrence comes away with a 2-point victory. And the Bears hoping to come away with a victory here tonight at the Hill Center. They will march out Frank Reale, Chris Edwards, Chris Mikos, Sebastian Ethert, and Coven Minor. For Mount St. Vincent, it's Kalos Evans, Makai Johnson, Mamadou Mariko, Vinny Tavella, and Kelvin Turner Harris. Still man-to-man defense by both teams. Nice little give and go. Layup is knocked away and rebounded. The rebound goes to Sebastian Ethert, but the block will go to Coven Minor, who leads this St. Joseph team with 1.3 blocks per game. Got another one there. So St. Joe's with a chance to increase the lead yet again. Here's Mikos on Tavella. Doesn't really have it. Kicks it out. Could have been stolen, but Edwards will take it. Little dipsy-do to the rim and makes the right-handed layup off glass. So Chris Edwards with a strong move and finish to increase this lead now to 9. Now St. Vincent trying to answer with a three-pointer from Evans is no good. Here comes Sebastian Ethert. A lot of yellow shirts back, so nothing easy. Seb will take a long three, in and out, and a great rebound by Chris Edwards. He's feeling it now after that last layup, and now great offensive rebound to give them a chance, and Mikos almost makes it pay off with what would have been a great tip-in. Foul on the floor, and Seb could have gotten a charge there, but instead kind of reached for the ball and used his arms. It appeared that Kelvin Turner Harris on the drive was a bit out of control. Sebastian had very good defensive position, but once you get your hands on the offensive player, that's an easy call for the ref, and Turner Harris will head to the free throw line for 2 shots. First shot is off the back rim, so again, both teams really struggling from the free throw line as Stefan Ethert will re-enter the game, replacing Chris Mikos. And Matt McQuillan is back in, his first action in the second half, replacing Sebastian Ethert. Kelvin Turner Harris. Surprisingly, he missed that first free throw. He enters this game at 93%. He's 13 of 14 entering the game, 1 of 2 now today, so only his second miss of the season and a decent sample size. So that is not a fugazi 93%. Little break in the action with 10:19 to go as one of the protective mats has fallen off the wall under the DeKalb Avenue basket. So some of the staff is working on basically balancing it up against the wall as St. Joe's will retain possession, leading 45-37 now after that one free throw make from Turner Harris, I'm sorry. I'm not sure who Turner Evans is. But Turner Harris is the one who went 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. Edwards, shot fake, drive, left hand this time, and he is fouled. So last time he drove with the right hand and laid it up off glass and made it. This time he attempted the same move with the left hand. Wasn't able to convert, but will head to the free throw line. Another important player. So I was mentioning earlier very, very quickly that a lot of seniors will be leaving after this year, which puts a lot of onus on these younger guys because they're the ones who are going to be back next year. And Chris Edwards certainly one of the main guys that they're going to be counting on, I'm sure. First free throw was no good for Edwards. Second one is good, though. So the lead is back to 9, 46-37. Again, Chris Edwards and some of these other younger guys are going to be shouldering a lot of the load next season. But, again, 19-20 is plenty of games left in this one. Great defense by Frank Reale to cause the Harris turnover. And Rakis Harris really struggling today. Only 2 points on 1 of 6 shooting. Missed his only 3-point attempt. He's played 19 minutes so far. He does have 8 rebounds and 4 assists and also 3 steals. So not doing great in the scoring column, but certainly contributing in a lot of ways. And I also mentioned he is the spiritual leader of this team as well. McQuillan has it, 15 on the shot clock. Now Steph over to Reale. One dribble pull-up, good. So Reale, as we often see him, not passing up the standstill jump shot, putting it on the floor, this time to clear defense, and able to score it off the dribble. He's very, very good at that, scoring off the dribble. So Frank Reale, with his second 3-point make of the game, increases the Bears' lead to 12. So it's been all Bears over the last handful of minutes. And here's another miss from Mamadou Mariko to give the ball back to St. Joseph's. Now St. Vincent only 1 field goal in their last 12 attempts. So they've really gone cold offensively. But I will say, many of those attempts have been pretty well defended and contested by St. Joe's, so give the defense some credit as well. Long jump shot at the buzzer of the shot clock from Stefan Ethert is no good. Had to kind of rush it up there from the top of the key. 3-pointer from Turner Harris is good. So Turner Harris finds himself open in transition after the miss from Stefan Ethert on the other end. That'll creep the Dolphins a little bit closer. Now it's a 10-point deficit for Mount St. Vincent. Still 8:20 to go, a world of time left. It is anybody's game. So St. Joe is trying to keep some momentum. And the ball is knocked away, stolen by Turner Harris. Here come the Dolphins. Turner Harris goes all the way to the rim off glass, no good. Ball is knocked away, fought for. It's Tavella, it's Minor, and it's a jump ball as they were both wrestling the ball, trying to wrestle the ball away from each other. And I could see a little bit of momentum swinging Mount St. Vincent's way. The Bears have plenty of timeouts left. I'm sure Coach Cocazello is contemplating one, maybe see how this next possession goes. Wide open 3, Turner Harris. That possession didn't go well. Maybe a timeout is in order, and a timeout will be, I believe will be called. I saw a whistle and everybody stopped. Maybe it's not a timeout. As Turner Harris, back-to-back 3-point shots that time. Poor job on defense by St. Joe's on a under out of bounds play. Simple one pass and shot. He was wide open. So it was not a timeout, but there is a break in the action as the officials are conferring about something. In any case, St. Joe's will take over the ball, now leading by 8. Oh, I see what it was. They were determining whether it was a 2 or a 3. So they have now changed it to a 2-point jump shot. So the Bears lead by 8 with just under 8 minutes to go in this one. McQuillan will walk it up on offense, defended by the hot shooting Kelvin Turner Harris right now. Skip pass to Edwards. Edwards drives. Nice little bounce pass to Minor on the cut. So a beautiful play by Chris Edwards. Felt the help from Tavella and made a little dump-off bounce pass to a cutting Coven Minor. 10-point lead once again for St. Joseph's. Here's Turner Harris. He's fouled on the drive. That'll be on the floor, I believe. That's going to go against Chris Edwards. Sorry, that foul goes against McQuillan. I thought Edwards was on that play, but it's going to go against McQuillan. That's only his first. And the first free throw is no good once again. So surprisingly, Kelvin Turner Harris entering the game at 13 of 14 from the free throw line. 93%. He's missed 2 today. Chris Mikos will re-enter the game for St. Joseph's. And he will replace somebody. It's going to be Coven Minor, it looks like, as a little late reacting. I think they were trying to play 6-on-5 for a minute. Minor will have a seat. And the referees are having another discussion as Turner Harris is, after missing the first free throw, is being iced now from the line by the officials. So Turner Harris, hot from the field, not so much from the free throw line today. And now the officials are, one of the officials speaking to Coach Mooney, another official speaking to Coach Cocazello. And I'm not sure what it's about. So I am on the opposite side of the court. I cannot hear anything that's being said. So now, that's surprising. They've gone back again, and I don't know if anyone's looking at replay, but they are now reassessing a 3-point field goal for Kelvin Turner Harris on that last couple possessions ago, actually, as he makes the second free throw. So they called it a 3 originally, changed it to a 2, and now 3 possessions later, they change it back to a 3. So Kelvin Turner Harris did make back-to-back 3s after all, and now it's 51-43 after the 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Nikos misses a bunny, and the ball is knocked away, finally picked up by nobody, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Mount St. Vincent. So the Bears will get possession once again, luckily. Sebastian Ethert is back in the game replacing Matt McQuillan, and a timeout on the floor by St. Joseph's. And it will be a full timeout as they lead 51-43, 7:10 remaining. It appears we are going to be in for an exciting finish here at the Hill Center, and we'll step away once again and be back in just a moment with some updated stats. So the leading scorers for Mount St. Vincent is Kalos Evans with 9 points and Mamadou Mariko also with 9. Kwame Thompson has 8. Kelvin Turner Harris now has 7 after getting that 3-point officially charged. Coven Minor leads the Bears with 11 points. Stefan Ethert has 10. Dimitri Sarakis also has 10. And Chris Mikos has 7 off the bench. Mikos also with 7 rebounds today as the Bears take over possession. Nice backdoor cut and blocked out of bounds by Mariko. So a great little backdoor cut. And St. Joe's does a really nice job of setting up those plays. And that time, good job by Coach Cocazello setting it up out of the timeout. So Sarakis caught the backdoor cut, but his layup attempt was cleanly blocked out of bounds by Mamadou Mariko. Mariko also averaging 1.3 blocks a game, leading his team. Mikos, spin, right hand off glass, good. Chris Mikos extending the Bears' lead to 10 off a pretty move with the right hand. So a nice addition to this roster, certainly for St. Joe's. Again, coming over from rival Mount St. Mary College is Chris Mikos. Mikos now with 9 points today. Here's Vinny Tavella backing in on Steph Ethert. Kicks it out. Turner Harris. This time he's well short, and the rebound goes to Stefan Ethert. So Ethert averaging 10.4 rebounds a game, only his 4th today, but he does have 10 points. Jump shot from Steph is good, so Stefan Ethert with another deuce brings his total to 12 today, and the lead extends to 12 as well. So with just one more point, Stefan Ethert will join the 1,000 point club here at St. Joseph's. He is standing pat at 999 right now. Just under 6 minutes to go. And a foul on Dimitri Sarakis. That is going to be his 3rd. And I believe the 5th foul on St. Joseph's this half. So the smaller, quicker starting lineup is in the game now for Coach Mooney. 4 real quick guards and Mariko. Still man-to-man defense from the Bears. It's really all we've seen today. A little bit of full court press in the first half. No press from Mount St. Vincent yet or anything different. Nice kick out. It's Turner Harris in and out. Steph with the rebound. Outlet to Seb. Seb's going to bring it up. And he's looking for his brother. Didn't have him. Turnover is going to go the other way. And a foul is going to be charged to number 14, Chris Mikos, his 2nd after the turnover. That is the 6th now on the Bears. And Coach Cocazello trying to plead with Sebastian Ethert to slow it down a bit, understand the situation. It's 5:29 to go, and your team is leading by 12. There's no reason to rush that. Although we thought he had his brother streaking down the middle. But time and score have to understand the situation. Another turnover here. The attempted charge from Steph. It was an no call, but Seb picks up the rebound. Nice bounce pass to Mikos, and another two-handed slam from Chris Mikos off of the assist from Sebastian Ethert. Now it's 57-43, and St. Joe's, really based on their defense, is starting to pull away as Mount St. Vincent having all kinds of trouble scoring the ball. And if you're not named Kelvin Turner Harris, you have had a hard time this second half offensively. And the aforementioned Turner Harris will head to the free throw line once again. That foul went against Sebastian Ethert. That's his second. And that'll put Mount St. Vincent in the bonus for the remaining 4 minutes and 56 seconds in this one. Frank Reale re-enters the game for Chris Edwards. Chris Edwards, a nice little freshman player, getting more and more comfortable as the season goes on. Certainly a lot more confident as well. And Turner Harris inexplicably misses another free throw to keep the Bears lead at 14. Here is Seb definitely looking to get it to his brother on the little two-man game here. Doesn't have it. Here's Sarakis now. Drives, kicks it out, deflected. And Harris crashes into my table. Hopefully the equipment is safe. Rebound goes to Mount St. Vincent. Nice little dump into Mariko. So a nice little dump into Mariko. And the long pass to Steph. And here it is, and a traveling violation. I'm sort of laughing. It's just the situation is very strange. After that make, Sebastian finally had his brother streaking up ahead. He got it. He was wide open to complete the wide open probable dunk and what would have been his 1,000th career point, 1,001st career point. Travels before the attempt as he was buried, but before the fouls, he was a traveling violation. So now St. Vincent will take over. 4:12 to go. We do hope that Steph will score one more point tonight in some fashion. But more importantly, we hope St. Joe's will finish with the lead. 12-point lead now. Harris falls down with the ball. Here's Sarakis, tipped away and stolen by Kalos Evans. 4-on-2, power up Thompson, good, and the foul. So Kwame Thompson showing off the bungees once again, powers it up, and Chris Mikos is going to be hit with the foul. So the basket is good. That brings the Dolphins to within 10 and an opportunity to cut it to single digits here with Thompson at the free throw line. Chris Edwards is back in the game, replacing Dimitri Sarakis. Entering the game, Thompson only a 35% free throw shooter. Wow. Hopefully that's a small sample size. He makes this one no problem though. He was actually 9 of 26 entering the game. So not that small a sample size, but in any case, he makes the free throw. Here's Sebastian. Kicks it over to Steph. Steph, here's the jump shot, no good, but he is fouled, or somebody is fouled. And the foul's going to go against Rakeese Harris in what is now a 9-point lead for St. Joe's. And Stephon Ethert will head to the free throw line with 999 career points. So you talk about a little pressure in the back of your mind on the free throw. Here it is. He will get 2 attempts. And with a make, he will join the prestigious 1,000-point club. And he does with the first make. So the Hill Center crowd and the St. Joseph's bench applauding in approval. So Stephon Ethert has eclipsed the 1,000-point club, and his second attempt is good, so he's got 1,001, and there's going to be a timeout called, and pretty classy move by Coach Cocazello calling the timeout to give Stephon Ethert his moment to absorb the applause. And here's the announcement. So 1,000 points for Stephon Ethert. Congratulations to Stephon, and a warm ovation from the Hill Center crowd, I should say, as So Steph with another big cheer for Steph. The first Bear in the Skyline Conference era to achieve the 1,000-point mark, and the first Bear since Matt O'Neill to achieve that mark. So more important than the individual award, the Bears have increased their lead to 11 once again, only 3:36 remaining. As Mount St. Vincent will look to cut into this lead. They still have plenty of time to get in there, but they got to start getting it done on offense. They've really struggled this half offensively. And a foul on the outside is going to give them a chance from the foul line. That foul goes against Stefan Ethert. That's his third. And the 9th now on St. Joe's. So still a one-on-one shooting foul for Kalos Evans. 67% on the season is Evans heading into this game. And he makes the first of the front end. We might see a press for Mount St. Vincent, and we do after the second make. So we got these quick guards are going to give St. Joe some trouble in the backcourt, I'm sure. And Steph will break pressure with a speed dribble over the timeline, defended by Kwame Thompson. Sebastian takes over, gets to the rim. Nice little bounce pass, but he's fouled before Miko's able to attempt the finish. So St. Joe's with a good job creating space by spreading the floor, a little four-corner action. A lot of close pressure in the man-to-man from Mount St. Vincent, so St. Joe's, by spreading it out, little dribble drive really opens up areas, and Sebastian will head to the free throw line as Raquise Harris picks up his 4th foul. First free throw from Sebastian Ethert will be a violation, as it did not hit rim. This game is not over, so they need to keep their focus here. Only a 9-point lead for St. Joe's. And the officials will confer once again. The officials really getting to know each other today with plenty of side conversations. 59-50, Bears still in the lead. Sebastian Ethert only with 3 points today, although he does have 6 rebounds and 6 assists. Mount St. Vincent will get it inbounds and look to jog it up court against this man-to-man defense from St. Joe's. Again, only a 9-point game. This is anybody's game. The Bears seem to be sort of not too on edge, thinking that they might have this in the bag. They really don't just yet. Still 3 minutes remaining and another trip to the free throw line. So one thing you don't want when you have a lead late is to allow the other team to score without the clock moving. And Mount St. Vincent will get that opportunity once again right now as Kwame Thompson heads to the free throw line for 2 free throws. That foul went against Steph Ethert. That is his 4th foul. So another thing to consider, Stefan Ethert, 1 foul away from disqualification. And he will remain in the game for at least this offensive possession. Thompson misses the first free throw, and Mount St. Vincent not doing themselves any favors from the free throw line either. And he misses 2 in a row, so St. Joe's dodges the bullet on that possession. Mount St. Vincent really struggling from the free throw line as well as St. Joe's. They're only 7 of 13 now from the line. Here's Sebastian Ethert, guarded by Harris. Looks into Mikos at the high post, 10 on the shot clock. Mikos hook pass to Steph inside. Back to Mikos, it's knocked away and stolen. Mount St. Vincent has it and is pushing it. 2:29 to go. And a traveling violation, so again, the Dolphins shooting themselves in the foot again from the free throw line and with turnovers, giving opportunities back to St. Joe's, who really aren't playing great at this point either. The last couple of minutes have been very sloppy on both ends offensively. Luckily, St. Joe's is up 9, and in a situation where both teams are struggling to score, you'd rather be up 9 than down 9. Man-to-man pressure in the backcourt. Chris Edwards has it. Brings it over the timeline, defended by Mekhi Johnson. And now he beats Johnson, gets to the rim, and he's fouled on his way to the basket. He won't make the layup, but he'll head to the free throw line. So we'll see if St. Joe's can take advantage of some freebies here. Mount St. Vincent really struggling in that department. Foul goes against Mamadou Mariko. That's his third. And that is the 8th on the mount. First free throw from Edwards is short. So not doing themselves any favors either. They are now 6 of 14 from the free throw line. Second free throw from Edwards is in and out. So 0 for 2 on this end as well. They don't call them free throws for nothing. Mount St. Vincent will get another chance to cut into this 9-point deficit. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Layup is just off the front rim, so a tough break with a bad roll for Harris. And Harris is really hasn't caught a break all night offensively. Only 1 of 7 from the floor now. 2 points all, oh, I'm sorry. Yes, 2 points altogether for the night. Tough night for Harris. Here Steph drives and he's fouled. So Steph will head to the free throw line looking to add to his 14 points tonight. Foul is on the floor, but they are in the double bonus, so he should get 2 free throws. Foul goes against, I believe, Mariko. If it is, it should be his 4th. It says 3 on the board. I'm not sure they've updated it yet. So they're getting a couple players together to make sure the heads stay cool, because on the rotation help, there was a strong collision from Kwame Thompson, rotated over just to help on the drive, and there was a hard collision, knocked him to the floor. So we don't want to keep tempers in check, and it is 4 fouls on Mariko as Stephon Effort makes his first free throw on his way to 2,000 points. That's 1,002. He's got a ways to go. It's going to be tough for him to make it. If he does, though, St. Joe's is going to be in great shape. Second free throw is up and good. So Stephon Effort converts 2 to give a little more cushion, 11-point cushion now for St. Joe's, just 140 remaining. And now things are looking a lot stronger for the Bears, but another foul on the floor will send, this time, Kalos Evans to the free throw line. And that's Sebastian Effort, that's his 3rd foul. Evans will head to the free throw line with 11 points today. He's a perfect 3 of 3 from the line, so we haven't had many of them today. First free throw from Evans is off the mark, so the announcer's Joan kicks in once again. Chris Mikos is in the game, replacing Sebastian Effort. Second free throw for Evans is up and good. So a timeout for Coach Mooney, and he will set up his, no doubt, full court press right now as they trail by 10 with 1:39 remaining. They need to get the ball back, or need to, once it gets over to the front court, they'll probably play certainly the first possession out defensively. After that, they have to really start thinking about fouling. Plenty of guys to foul, as most people are cold from the free throw line today, with the exception of Sebastian Effort, who's a perfect 4 of 4. Sebastian also leading the scoring for St. Joe's with 16 points on 6 of 11 shooting. Chris Mikos has 11 points, as well as Coven Minor has 11. Dimitri Sarakis is the 4th Bear in double figures with 10. Frank Reale has 6. He's been pretty quiet today, although he has made 2 of 4 from three-point land. Chris Edwards and Sebastian Effort each have 3 points, and Richie Simon has 1. For Mount St. Vincent, they are led by the 12 points for Kalos Evans. They have 3 players in double figures. Joining Evans in that department is Kwame Thompson with 11, and Mamadou Mariko with 11 as well. Kelvin Turner-Harris has come off the bench with 7 points. Makai Johnson has 3. Vinny Tavella has 3. Collins and Harris each have 2. And again, Rakeese Harris well off his scoring average. Dorian Thompson's in the game, another quick guard. So 5 guards in the game for this full court press, and it is a full man-to-man press. 5 quick guards for Mount St. Vincent in the game against St. Joe's, who sets up their press break, little box set. Reale inbounds it, finds Steph Ethert in the middle of the court. He's double teamed. He finds Sarakis now. Back to Ethert. Good spreading of the floor by St. Joe's. They get it over the timeline. Mikos is wide open underneath, but the double team against Edwards kind of blocked his vision, didn't see him. If he did, Mikos had a wide open layup. In any case, Edwards will head to the free throw line to try to get the deuce in another way. Foul goes against Kwame Thompson, his third. Both teams are in the double bonus now. Edwards' first free throw was well short. So both of these teams need to get in the gym and get to the free throw line during practice. Edwards is 1 of 4 from the floor today. He's now 1 of 5 from the line. Second free throw, though, was good. So that's his second free throw make. 11-point lead now, 1:27 to go. Mount St. Vincent really needs a bucket now, and they may get a couple free throws as Kalos Evans off the drive will head to the free throw line again. That's Sebastian Ethert. That's going to be his fourth, so both Ethert brothers with 4 fouls. And Sebastian's still on the floor. Stefan is on the bench right now, 1:22 to go, with their third ball handler in. So it's Sarakis, Edwards, and Reale looking to handle the ball, along with Sebastian Ethert as well. And Chris Mikos in the front court. First free throw is good for Kalos Evans. And here comes Steph now for the offensive possession, replacing his brother Sebastian. And the 5 guards for defense, Thompson, Turner Harris, Evans, Robinson, and Johnson, looking to press and force some turnovers. Free throw, though, is no good, so not a great opportunity to set up the press, but they're all over the double team against Stefan Ethert, who had pulled down that rebound. Now he will head to the free throw line as he split the double team with his dribble. Almost lost his balance, though. That foul will go against Kelvin Turner Harris. He only has 1. 2 free throws for Stefan Ethert with a 10-point lead. Looking to add to his game-leading 16 points. He misses the first free throw, however. Mamadou Mariko is in the game along with Rakeese Harris for the offensive possession for Mount St. Vincent. Second free throw is good for Steph, and a little offense-defense for St. Joe's as well. Ethert for Ethert, protecting Steph on defense so he doesn't get his 5th foul. Sebastian also has 4. He will be on defense, unprotected. Here's Evans again, probably looking to drive on Edwards. He's been very successful getting to the rim and getting to the free throw line. Finds Mariko inside. Time's a wasting. Mariko with the left hand, no good. Gets his own rebound, though, against Mikos, and an offensive foul will be called. Great job by Chris Mikos, taking his second charge of the day. He was actually situated behind the back of Mariko, who had to back up away from the baseline to get to the basket. And Chris Mikos for St. Joe's did a great job taking that charge. So all the subs are back in. The the offensive team for St. Joe's and the pressing team for Mount St. Vincent plus Vinny Tavella. Edwards finds Mikos. Mikos powers it up and dunks it home in transition. And that should put an exclamation point on this one as that lead gets extended now to 13. And St. Joe's will get the ball back yet again with under a minute to go. Here's Edwards, who is fouled now in the backcourt. So against the full court press, St. Joe's did a very nice job spreading the floor once again. Edwards found himself open with the dribble, kicked it ahead to Mikos, who now has his 3rd dunk of the game. 45.4 seconds to go. Edwards heads to the free throw line. Foul went against Kelvin Turner Harris. His second, and the first free throw for Edwards is again short, so his first free throw has been badly off the front rim 3 times in a row, although he has made his second one both of those first 2 attempts. Hopefully he'll make this one as well, which would increase this lead to 14 if he does. It's up, and he does, so it's a 14-point lead, 45.4 seconds to go. St. Joe's doesn't want to foul any jump shooters, but they do want the offense to take some time here. Jump shot, Harris, no good. Rebound, Sarakis, and he Ball gets knocked away. He's not fouled in the backcourt. Edwards finds Mikos, who will wisely pull it out back to Edwards and let this clock run. 6-second differential on the game clock to shot clock. So St. Joe's will hold on to the ball. 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. They might try to shoot. Coach Cocazello is telling them to kind of hold on to it. And they will look to shoot. 13 on the game clock, 5 on the shot clock. The St. Joe's Bears is going to they will come away with a victory as Sebastian Ethert throws up a heave that misses. Raquise Harris throws up a 3 that goes with a second left. So Raquise Harris makes his first 3-pointer of the day. That gives him 5 total. And the clock will run out on the Dolphins here at the Hill Center. Final score, St. Joe's of Brooklyn 66. College of Mount St. Vincent Dolphins 55. So a great hard-fought victory goes in favor of the Bears as they win this return game back to the Hill Center. Again, they haven't played a game here since early December. They come away with a victory today to increase their conference record to 2-2 and their overall record to 6-7. College of Mount St. Vincent drops to 4-9 and 1-3 in the Skyline. So the big news today, besides the victory for St. Joe's, senior Stefan Ethert achieving the 1,000-point club as he made a free throw to eclipse the 1,000-point mark earlier in the game. He ended up the leading scorer in the building with 17 points. We'll go over the final stats now. First for the visiting College of Mount St. Vincent Dolphins. They were led by Kalos Evans, 13 points, but he was 4 of 17 from the floor, so very inefficient, but led the team with 13 points. He was 5 of 7 from the free throw line, 0 of 5 from downtown, however. Mamadou Mariko had 11, and Kwame Thompson also had 11. Thompson, a very efficient 5 of 8 from the floor, also kicked in 8 rebounds as well, did Thompson. Also for Mount St. Vincent, Kelvin Turner Harris had 7 points on 2 of 7 shooting. Raquise Harris, their leading scorer, coming into the game averaging 18.3 per game, only 5 points today, so he struggled from the floor, and 3 of those 5 came really with 1 second to go on a long 3-point shot. So a tough night for Raquise Harris. However, with his 5 points, he did kick in 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals, so not all bad for Raquise. 3 points for Makai Johnson. Vinny Tavella also had 3, and David Collins had 2 points. 21 of 65 for 32.33% from the floor, only 4 of 20 from downtown for an even 20%. And from the free throw line, a paltry 9 of 17 for 52.9%. One of the reasons that Mount St. Vincent really had trouble coming back in this game once St. Joe's took a double-digit lead about midway through the second half. For the hometown Bears, they were led by Stefan Ethert's 17 points on 6 of 11 shooting. He was 5 of 6 from the free throw line and had 8 rebounds as well. And again, eclipsed the 1,000-point mark tonight as well. Chris Mikos had 13 points on 6 of 10 shooting. Chris also had 8 rebounds in his second game back from a long layoff for the Bears. Kevin Miner had 11 points on 5 of 8 shooting. He also had 3 rebounds. Dimitri Sarakis rounded out the 4 double-digit scores with 10. He was 4 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 4 from behind the arc. Frankie Reali had 6 points. Both of his field goals were threes. Chris Edwards chipped in 5 points, and Richie Simon had 1. And I forgot to mention Sebastian Ethert, had 3 points as well. He was 1 of 4, but along with his 3 points, he also added 6 assists and 7 rebounds. Overall, St. Joseph's was 25 of 57 for 43.9%, so a nice job from the field for them. From three-point land, they shot 5 of 16. That's good for 31.3%. And from the free throw line, an even more paltry 11 of 23 for 47.8%. Ouch. On 25 field goals, St. Joseph's had 17 assists, so a nice job sharing the ball and spreading it around for St. Joseph's. No more scores to report in the Skyline Conference, but what I will report is that our next broadcast for the men will be next Saturday, not this Saturday. They're away this Saturday at Old Westbury. Then they travel to Purchase next Wednesday, the 22nd. But we will be back here at the Hill Center on Saturday, the 25th against Manhattanville College. Should be a good one. Part of a doubleheader with the women. The women tip off at 1 and the men tip off at 3 on Saturday, the 25th. The women are here at home at 1 o'clock this coming Saturday, the 18th. So tune into sjcbears.com for that. And certainly the doubleheader on the following Saturday. Starting that Saturday, I think there are 4 consecutive Saturday doubleheaders here at the Hill Center. So keep track of that. Keep logging in. Keep telling your friends, and I know you are, to keep up on all the action here at St. Joseph's College. I am Michael Kerr once again, signing off, and we hope to see you the rest of the season here on sjcbears.com. Good night from Brooklyn.